everybody, and welcome to another sketchbook. I am very excited about this sketchbook. This is my first ever Arteza brand sketchbook. Never had any Arteza art supplies ever. Really wanted to get a sketchbook that was not necessarily wire bound, but was more like leather bound. However, I didn't expect this sketchbook to be 200 pages. Technically 400 because they'd count one single page as one page, but you can draw on both sides, so I counted as two, so technically it was 400 pages. Is the biggest sketchbook I have ever had, because the most pages I have had in a sketchbook have been 100. So this was a bit of a challenge. I ended up really loving this sketchbook. However, my only complaint about it was that it says it's supposed to lay flat. However, as you can see, glue that taped all the pages together and the middle kind of came apart. And if you look on the inside, it started to come apart. Go to the way back of the sketchbook, you can see that it was starting to come apart. Luckily, none of the pages have fallen out, but that's just a little bit of a thing you can expect. It's really good for pens and pencils, but any kind of wet medium doesn't really work, which I wasn't a huge fan of. So on the front cover, I just used acrylic paint to do this really cool, like, sunset-y kind of nature-y scene. Let's get into it. This is the longest it's ever taken me to fill a sketchbook. It took me from February 13th to July 9th of 2020. First picture I have in here is kind of bittersweet because I drew Black Widow, because I was very excited for the Black Widow movie, which none of us have seen yet. I drew some Black Widow. Her lips are way too big, but this is a pretty old sketch. It was from back in February, so that's why I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm definitely going to redraw Black Widow whenever we get to see the Black Widow movie. It's a sad thing. Here I just have some My Hero Academia sketches. I didn't really know where I was going with the sketchbook. Usually I start my sketchbooks off pretty strong. This one didn't start out very strong, but it's whatever. Here we have some more My Hero Academia sketches. This is my My Hero Academia OC. His name is Ishida Shiki, hero named Ivan. He's kind of got the power of, like, nature. He can, like, control plants. He wears a lot of chokers and, like, earrings and stuff. When he was doing his hero training, he went with Kirishima and Tamaki and did it with Fat Gum. I love to draw him with, like, really cool elfish because he's like a kind of like a fashion lover. I was getting back into acrylics. I've always painted with acrylics when I was younger, but I was really getting back into it in this sketchbook. Some sunsets, some clouds. Really love the way these two turned out, and then a bunch of flowers. I really like those sunflowers and those cactuses. Here's when I was kind of figuring out that alcohol-based markers didn't work very well on here, so I just have some sketches of Optimus. Here I was getting back into playing with watercolors. I saw a girl on Instagram. I saw this girl paint this picture of a girl who's black and white with rainbow hair. I thought it was so pretty, so I tried to replicate that, and then I did one with Galaxy. I would love to put these two on a shirt. I really love the way this turned out. I just really love this. I even want to put this just on a t-shirt just for me to wear. I've always loved drip art, and so I did some more of that. Love the rainbow one. And then this black and white of a heart was inspired by the song by 5 Seconds of Summer, Jet Black Heart, which is one of my favorite songs of all time by them. Coming up with some concepts for some human formers or hollow form designs for the Transformers Prime characters. So we got Ratchet and Optimus. Here was one for Rescue Bots Blur. This is Rescue Bots Blur. I love him a lot. He's one of my favorite Transformers characters of all time. So I was coming up with a human former design for him, and I really like the way this turned out. This is a hollow form design for G1C Spray, and then this is for MTMTE pipes. Some more My Hero sketches, drawing Labrava and Gentle for the first time ever. Practicing some more watercolor stuff. More designs for them, bulkheads, design for human former bulkhead for Prime, the Bumblebee design, Wheeljack, RC, this is supposed to be Smokescreen. This was around the time that I finished Season 3 of Cyberverse, which I don't like Cyberverse, but I drew some of the characters. I think this was Dead End, Soundwave, Perceptor, Lugnut, and then Whirl and Rodimus, who were my favorites from Season 3. Oh, here. So I was rewatching Roger Rabbit, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Roger Rabbit, and so I drew Jessica Rabbit because I really like her as a character. And then here was my second movie, and technically my last movie that I saw so far of 2020 in theaters. I've only saw 2 movies so far, and we're in the middle of August, which is sad. because usually by now I would have seen like maybe 8 to 9 movies. But I saw Onward in March. I think it was the day I saw Onward, and then 2 days later they shut everything down. Lucky to see Onward in theaters, but it was such a good film, and though I could kind of relate to it in a way with like their whole situation with their dad, I could kind of relate to it in the situation with my grandma that happened last year. I really loved this film. I love Ian and Barley so much. So I drew Ian, some more Ian and Barley. These turned out really well, and then I had to draw Barley with his Cheeto, because why not? These are some drawings from an artist on Instagram that I love her art so much. I don't believe this is her username anymore. I want username on the screen right now for you guys to see, but she came up with ideas and concepts for the Avengers as animals. So like Bucky was a wolf, Steve was like a deer, Tony was a tiger, Tony the tiger, Thor was a lion, and then Peter was a red panda. I thought they were so cute, because I was also starting to try to do 100 art pieces in a week challenge. I will put that video in the description. It ended up being a struggle, but I did it, and I'd kind of like to do it again. Maybe, we'll see. Some more sketches. I really like this one of Deku in the corner with his gloves. I think that's really cute. Just some more My Hero Academia sketches. Ishida Shiki, My Hero Academia OC. But this is my other My Hero Academia OC. Her name is Maka. She can like control water, and she can kind of make water weapons out of her hair. This is Jamskin Draws My Hero Academia OC. This is Kaito. He's amazing. I love him. Some Transformers Rescue Bots characters. I love Transformers Rescue Bots so much. It is my favorite Transformers show of all time. I love it to death. So I have some sketches of Boulder, Heatwave, Boulder, making some art. I love this one. We got some blades. I love how this blades turned out so much. And then I used some pink acrylic paint to kind of like take away from the blank white space, and I really like the added contrast it adds to the pages. Blades and me just singing karaoke because he likes karaoke. I like to sing, so it makes sense. Also, I love Blades so much. Like, he's a precious bean. Some more Rescue Bots drawings. This is my Transformers OC Megabee. She is Bumblebee's sister, and then she has a daughter. And then I think I was kind of going through a rough patch right here because obviously it was in March when the whole virus was going around or starting around and everyone was panicking. I was just kind of like not really doing so hot, and so I drew myself cuddled in a blanket, and Blades is trying to help me keep calm. But he's trying to help me calm down, and that's what I kind of needed at the time. Sometimes drawing art and myself with my favorite characters helps me to calm myself down in real life, if that makes any sense. Here. So one thing that did come out of the pandemic so far is that it got me to finally watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That, and I have Disney Plus, and they were all on Disney Plus, and season, I think 7 was finally coming out, but gave me that push to watch Clone Wars, and I'm so happy I did because it was so amazing. I've been a Star Wars fan probably since Revenge of the Sith came out in theaters, and I saw it in theaters, and so I really was like, I have to watch Clone Wars. I can't really call myself like even a casual fan if I haven't seen Clone Wars. This is just my Star Wars OC, Onyx. I forgot her name for a second. This is Onyx. She's a Jedi slash kind of like princess, kind of. Because in her backstory, her parents were rulers of this kingdom and her brother was next in line to be the king. And she was like, well, if he's going to be the king, then I can go off and be a Jedi. And she kind of had the Force with her. So she went to go be a Jedi and train. And unfortunately, her parents were killed and her brother was killed. And so now she has to be the princess and rule the planet. But while she's away training, her uncle's kind of being in charge for the time being. It's whatever. And no, her and Rex are not involved. They are just like really good friends, like a brother-sister relationship. Here she's with Anakin because she knows about Anakin and Padme, but she won't say anything. And she's really good friends with Obi-Wan. Just some more sketches of her and Rex fighting side by side. These are not her actual colors. They're a little too dark. I really like this sketch right here. That's why I put a little smiley face, because I really love the way this turned out. For anyone wondering, the pens that I was using at the time, they're the Bic grip rollers. They look like this. The camera will focus. You can get them online. I don't know if you can get them in stores, but I found mine on Amazon. So that's what I've been using to sketch all of these. We got some Anakin and Padme. I love this sketch. So Satine and Obi-Wan. I'm not a huge fan of the way this turned out. And then my girl Ahsoka. I love her. She's great in the show. I really love her fighting style, her dual-wielding lightsaber style. It's so cool, and so I just had to do some sketches of her. More Transformers sketches of Optimus from War for Cybertron video game that I love a lot. Drawing of Thunderhoof I did because I haven't drawn him in a while. I haven't drawn him, I think, in like maybe, I want to say 3 or 4 years, so it's been a hot minute. One of my best friends, Megan, she posted in our group chat a picture of Thunderhoof, and she was like, who is he? I love him so much. I need to know who he is. And I told her that he's like a Deer Mafia tractor boss, and she was in love with him, so I drew that for her. Some more of my My Hero Academia OCs. This is, as I said, Maka. Here's Ishida, Shiki, meeting Eri-chan for the first time ever. Here, this is I love. Okay, so I don't really have a lot of original characters. I have OCs from other like fandom. I don't really have any original characters really. I have 2, a vampire and like a wizard who are together, but I don't really talk about them. But this is a new original character that I came up with, Orc Elf Hybrid. So this is Ren. This is what he looks like. I really love the idea of having a ponytail. He's a really good like warrior dude, but he's also really shy and really like kind of romantic. And I really love his design, and I've been drawing him a lot in my new sketchbook. And then this is another character that I created for this fantasy story that I've had in my head for so long. This is Galaria. She's an elf princess. Her and Ren end up becoming a couple in their story on the journey they have to go to. Here's some more sketches of them. She likes to play with his hair. I really like her pouting face in this one. Here she is using her bow and arrow, and then here's Ren using his dual wielding of his daggers. These are some more of my Transformers OCs. Obviously this is Optimus from Prime and Wheeljack from Prime. But this is my Transformers OC X-Ray. Here he is again. This is my Transformers OC A-Track. A-Track is a green boy, and then X-Ray is a red boy, and so they're called like the Christmas colored boys because they are a couple, so it's like red and green Christmas colors. Everyone calls him the Jolly Rancher because he's like a bright apple green Jolly Rancher color. He's a medic in training, and then A-Track is a warrior, but he's also like a music lover. X-Ray was a really good, like when he was training back on Cybertron in the medical field, he would stay up hours without sleeping just so that he could get like the highest grades, and he did. He's also fascinated by Animal Crossing because he loves cute things, so he would totally play Animal Crossing, X-Ray would, on repeat. And then this is my Transformers Prime human character, McKenna, who is Smokescreen's partner. Here's some more sketches of my Marvel OC, Heather. She's got fire powers, but she can like absorb fire. Like if a building is on fire, she can absorb it and use that fire to throw it at another building. When she gets kind of mad, sometimes her fist can like start to glow an orange. Here she is with Peter playing Animal Crossing. I feel like Peter would totally play Animal Crossing. He's looking at a picture of her when she was really young. Look at those cute little pigtails. And here's more of my My Hero Academia OC, Maka. Here she is like at the training, like at the tournament arc in season 2. She's with Mina. They're hanging out. Here she is using her powers because her skin, like her hair, can throw water stuff, make water weapons. Her skin can kind of do the same thing. Here she is wearing a Positive Vibe shirt along with their username up here is OC Kaito. That's their OC Kaito, and he is a adorable boy. We love him. There's some more sketches here. They are together dating because after he did his tournament when they're up against another student, he got really badly injured, and so she's giving him a kiss. They are at the training camp. She gets knocked unconscious really badly, and so Ishida has to like give her a piggyback ride back to camp. And then Ishida's mom was the element witch, and she could control like all the elements together, and she was really good friends with All Might back in the day, and so when she passed away, All Might kind of started to look after Ishida. They're not close like Deku and All Might, obviously, but like he has a pretty strong connection to All Might, I guess, kind of. More of my Transformers OC. This is Airstrike, and he is together with Oreo's OC, Red Zone. And this is another one of my Transformers OCs, Satan. You guys all love him, you know him. There's just some more of them. This is Airstrike's mom, Skyflash. She was married to Satan. Yes, his name is Satan. Deal with it. He's like he's not a Decepticon, he's not an Autobot, but he's like a destroyer of all things. And Skyflash is no longer with us. She was murdered. Here's little baby Airstrike. He's so precious. So if you go to my Instagram, you know a lot about my Transformers OCs. I'll link my Instagram down below. But this is kind of a little like post-it note comic I made of Skyflash meeting Satan. Got together right away because she's an Autobot He's not a Decepticon, but he's not an Autobot either. He is technically Unicron's brother, because Unicron created him from a portion of his spark to destroy all life. So there's that. This little comic a lot of people appreciate, and I love the way I drew these panels. I really love that one right there. Here's when I did a video. I asked you guys on Instagram to help me design a character. So Instagram helped me design this character, and I made a YouTube video of it. I will link that in the description as well. Still don't have a name for her yet. I haven't drawn her since the sketchbook, so this is her concept that we came up with. She's I think she's supposed to be a demon or an orc. Really like the way she turned out. I definitely want to draw her again. More of My Hero Academia OCs, Maka and Ishida. Some more Sky Flash and Satan. Another Satan, and then Optimus. More My Hero Academia sketches. We got some Sero. I don't draw him a lot. Some Sero and Kaminari just hanging out with their hair kind of like up in a ponytail. I love this Mina. This Mina turned out really, really cute. And this is when I got my Uhuru brush tip dual tip markers. I don't use these very often anymore because I use Crayola markers, but I do use these whenever I can. Some more Rescue Bot sketches. I like this Bumblebee and this one too, and then I really like this Blades. Here, oh my god, here. Back in April/early May, I started watching Haikyuu. So back in May, a lot of people on Instagram that I was following were watching it for the first time ever, and it had been on my list for a while. So I watched the first season, and by episode 1, I was sold. I was hooked. I was here for it. I loved all the boys. Like with any anime that I do, I write down the characters' names and their description of the character and how you sound out their name. At the beginning, names are horrible, but obviously once you get like halfway into the show, you know all the characters' names by heart. These initial sketches are obviously just trying to figure out how their hairstyles and their facial expressions and their face structures would look in my style. So I got Hinata, Kageyama, Nishinoya is my boy. He is everything. He's my favorite. Sugawara, Daichi, Tanaka, Asuhi, some more Hinata, Nishinoya. I like this one. This one's really cute. Some sketches of my Transformers OC, Megabee. There's Mini B kind of really likes Grimlock, is like a babysitter, and Grimlock finds her adorable. This sketch I really love, Mini B just hanging out. Another Mini B and her mom, Megabee in Rescue Bot style, because I've created a Rescue Bot design for her. I love drawing her like this, or using purple pen, which I want to get back to using purple pen. For the purple pen sketches, it is just a big round stick grip pen. You can get these in like a giant pack at like Walmart or something. A random My Hero sketch. I think it was at the park when I sketched these. So we got Skinny Mite, some more Skinny Mite, and Aizawa being in a real mood. Tokiyami in a tree with birds. I don't know. It fits. It's valid. It's what it is. My Transformers OC Airstrike again, because he loves anime, and he loves like the Sailor Moon type of like magical girl theme. So I drew him in a skirt with like a wand and stuff. This is kind of like a Yuri on Ice reference where he's like, show me your arrows, and then airstriking his mommy. And I don't know if you know this, but like Frozen is like my everything, and in Frozen 2 was like the best thing on the planet. Show Yourself is like the most relatable song I've ever heard in my life. I would literally die for Elsa. I love her so much. And back in the day when the first Frozen movie came out, I was a Jelsa shipper. I shipped Elsa with Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians. You know, that DreamWorks movie with Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy. I'm not a huge Jelsa shipper that much anymore, but like I wanted to like give my past Jelsa shipper like some more fuel, and I like the way I drew that braid. I love that. And then I saw Beastars, and like I'm not a furry, but like Legoshi is best boy, so I had to draw some Legoshi. And obviously it was really hard to draw animals because I suck at drawing animals, so trying to draw animals when they're also kind of 3D animals was a struggle. So I drew some Legoshi, more Legoshi, Haru, some Bumblebee, a sad bee, and then Bee with Wrath, because their friendship is my favorite thing. It's amazing. And I was kind of at this point struggling with trying to finish the sketch because I wanted to finish it in July, because I didn't want to keep dragging it out. So I just drew a bunch of random stuff. So I drew some more Beastars. My first time ever drawing Jack and Louie. I think these turned out pretty cute. Some more of my original character Ren with his hair down, his hair kind of like in front of his head, and then more Galaria, and they're kissing because they do get together eventually. Some Optimus sketches. I really like this one where it's Optimus in a tank top or a crop top with shades on it. It's like hashtag beach hottie. Like this sketch a lot. This one's really cool too. This one I really like too. I was just using some red pen. Here I was rewatching Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. So I drew some Hell of a Boss characters. I've never drawn them before. I've drawn the Has Been characters before. We got some Alistair and Angel Dust. Love them. If you don't know about a Has Been Hotel, you should look up Vibsy Pop and Has Been Hotel. You are missing out. It's amazing. So I drew them, and then I drew the characters from Hell of a Boss. Blitz. I think this is Stolas. I think it's Stolas, and then more Blitz, and then Moxie, and Millie. I love them. They're so cute. Then I wanted to create an Onward OC. I know I need to stop making OCs for other things and make OCs for my own OCs, for my own stories. Anyway, this is Willow. She's another elf, as you can see. This is just a quick sketch of her with Barley and Ian. I really like her color scheme that she has. Okay, here. When I was younger, I was a huge Winx Club fan. I created a Winx Club OC. Her name was Crystal. I created her before Crystal was actually an actual canon character in the show. Anyway, so I created an OC called Crystal back in the day. And when I rewatched Winx Club not like a couple months ago, I really wanted to flesh out more of Crystal's designs. So we got regular Winx Crystal, we got Enchantix Crystal, we got Believix Crystal, Sirenix. I really love Sirenix and Believix. I think they turned out really nice. And then we have Bloomix Crystal. And then I wanted to draw all of the Winx Club girls. I haven't drawn Aisha yet. I really want to. So we got Bloom, Stella, Flora, who's always been my favorite. I love Flora. Tekna, and then a Musa. I really actually love the way these turned out. I've never drawn the Winx Club girls, and they were such a big part of my childhood. So I was like, why haven't I? I've always loved fairies, and that is still true to this day. I've never played Monster Prom. I've always wanted to, and I just love the concepts and the designs for the Monster Prom characters. I don't know his name. I just saw him on like a demo for, I think it's Monster Prom 2 on Twitter. He doesn't have a name. I can't find his name anywhere, but I love his design. He is a beautiful boy. So we have Polygeist. I think this is Miranda. These are two characters that you play as. They're the avatars you play as to date these other characters. I really love this Damien where he's like, let's blow shit up. More Monster Prom characters. I love this Liam. This Polly turned out really sexy. Since we're in the middle of a pandemic and there's not movies to go see in theaters, we decided to have another movie marathon. At the beginning of the year we did Star Wars, and I did Twilight this past summer. We did Lord of the Rings recently, so I drew some of the Lord of the Rings characters. This Boromir really looks like Boromir, and I'm proud of that. Got Gandalf, Arwen, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Gollum, Sam, Frodo, and then we got Boromir, Lady Galadriel, and then this is Spider-Tam's Lord of the Rings or Hobbit OC. He is adorable. I love him. And I drew a couple of the Hobbit boys because I love Hobbit. I really love Hobbit. I really love it a lot. Some Thorin Oakenshield, some Philly and Killy. I love them. And then another Philly with like his hair in like a ponytail, which is really cute. And then here I loved Victor. I love Victor, so I wanted to draw just a couple of Victor sketches. I really like the way this one turned out. It is so cute. And so that is everything in my big 200, technically 400 page sketchbook. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye guys!